So you want to start a soap business. Okay, well, here are some things a lot of people don't think about or even know. When people first think about starting a soap business, it's usually because they've made some pretty awesome soap that their friends, family, or coworkers really like, and they think they can make a real go of this. Making a good bar of soap that you've tested and other people have tested is actually the very least you're going to have to do in order to shift from hobby to an actual soap business. There are a mountain of tasks you're going to have to complete that are 100% not related to soap making. And after all of the necessary paperwork you're going to have to do, like registering your business and all the boring tax stuff, then the next step is thinking about who exactly is going to buy your soap. If the answer is everyone, you're going to have a tough time. Getting super specific about your customer will help you focus your branding, product line, determine your price point, help you decide what ingredients and packaging and shipping supplies to purchase, pretty much everything. Speaking of branding, now you have to figure out how to market your new soap company in order to get sales. Now, if you took the time to figure out your target customer, the marketing part of it might make it a little easier, but in general, most small soap businesses turn to social media for marketing. So you'll need to start that up so that you can expand your reach beyond your friends and family. Next comes deciding what your product line is going to look like and what you're going to sell. Big companies have entire teams that survey their target customers to glean valuable insight and feedback for product ideas. Since you've likely poured a lot of money already in supplies and equipment, you probably don't have the budget for that. You're going to do what a lot of us have done in the beginning and throw out what you think is good and what people are going to buy and seeing if it actually sells. And then the next part, which is the toughest part, comes along, and that's getting over no one buying your product. But don't worry, most small soap business owners experience this. It's kind of a rite of passage. A lot of people quit here, but if you're able to shift your mindset from I failed to wow, I am learning so much and I can't wait to learn more, you'll keep going. And maybe after a few years of doing it for free or it costing you a lot of money and not seeing a dime of profit, you'll slowly start to see a shift. And that's the big thing a lot don't consider when they get into starting a soap business. Will my love of the craft and passion for my products keep me going even if no one buys it? If you can say yes to that, then you're going to last so much longer than 90% of the people who try to sell soap for a living. So you've lasted the dark years of no sales, and all of your hard work is starting to pay off. Well, now there's the super boring part of running a small business. Bookkeeping, inventory, restocking, customer service, making shipping labels, shipping products out, dealing with missing, broken, or stolen packages, and guess what? There's no training for any of this. You're going to have to learn how to do this all on your own. The info is all out there online, but there are going to be times where you're so overwhelmed it won't seem possible to learn it all. But you've already come so far, so you will figure it out. Slowly but surely, making a ton of mistakes along the way. You'll get there. I just got an email from one of our tax professionals and got another reminder of the little things about running a small business that isn't always fun. You might be earning a certain amount, but there are so many things that cut into that. Expenses of running the business, expenses for supplies, and then taxes, which is a huge chunk of those expenses. But it's part of the game. Taxes are one of those things that I would always recommend that you get a professional to do. People ask me all the time advice about their taxes, and the thing is, I don't know. I have no idea. I know just as much as you, which is why I don't do my own taxes. I don't want to mess it up, so that's why hiring someone is just worth every penny. But that doesn't make taxes any more fun, because then you have to pay that tax professional a fee for their services. I don't want this video to be completely negative. There are so many good things about being a small business owner, which is why I am a small business owner. I've been in so many different careers. I've done corporate jobs, a lot of corporate jobs in a lot of different industries. And this job right here is the best one I've ever done. And I love it. Even though there's annoying things, there's so many good things, just like there is with any career. This big stack are orders. People have put in their orders for my new products, and I'm so thankful that people trust me enough to buy my products. So there's that to be excited about. I have 2 orders. These are from my Etsy that I need to fulfill today as well. I did one a couple days ago, and now I'm doing these 2 today. And these will wait until February 1st. And I've never tried that model before, kind of like a pre-sale order type of model, but I really like how it's been giving me a lot of time to work on it. I can really plan out my production and how to use that time between now and February 1st. So I think this is a good model for me moving forward. I'm not 100% sure about the Etsy, about whether or not I'm going to keep doing Etsy moving forward. I get a few orders here and there from Etsy, but honestly, it's starting to become more and more of a hindrance rather than an asset to my business. It's another platform that I have to go to create an entire product listing for each of my products. And on Etsy, I feel like I have so little control. Whoever visits that Etsy page and doesn't make a purchase, that is a dock on my shop, because Etsy thinks, okay, people are coming to this shop to order, and when they don't order anything, we're not going to have this shop very high in the search rankings. And that has happened to me over the years because I do YouTube and people look for my stuff on Etsy just to see how I'm conducting my business. That's not their fault. It's definitely my fault. If I were to do an Etsy again, I would totally do it anonymously and not promote it, if that makes sense. So if you're thinking about doing an Etsy, I don't know whether or not you should tell the people on YouTube about it, because they're going to go there, maybe not make a purchase, and that's going to hurt your rankings in Etsy. And that's really one of the reasons why I had an Etsy, was to get traffic organically from the Etsy marketplace. And if I'm not getting pushed in search, then there's really no point. And I really don't have trouble anymore driving traffic to my website and getting orders. And honestly, the level of orders that I'm getting right now, perfect. This is a sweet spot for me, where I'm not so overwhelmed that I feel like I can't deliver things on time, and I feel like my work is getting compromised, or I feel like it's just too much. This is such a great level. So I think after these 2, I might just remove everything from my Etsy. I want to keep it up there so that people can find my shop on Etsy if they want to, but I don't think I'm going to be promoting any products there moving forward. I'll probably put a link to my website so that they can go there instead. And the reason why I want to keep that Quench Bear shop in Etsy is because I have so many good reviews from people who have tried my products that I would like people to see if they are curious about how good my products are or not. So I have 3 scrubs here for this order, and for this order we have 2 bath bombs. Okay, easy. For all of my products that I put into jars, I've been engraving my logo on the lid, and it has looked so good. Eventually, I would like to also put some text, maybe like a nice message or a tagline, but the logo has been turning out really beautiful so far, and I've been using the Xtool F1 a ton. I will do an updated review of this guy very soon. I want to talk about all of the things that I've been doing with this machine. You saw earlier in the video of me doing my thank you cards on this machine. So this also engraves very thin paper. So if that's something that you're interested in, this machine can do that. I still need to play with the attachments. I haven't done anything yet with the rotary tool or the slide extension. I've just been really busy, but I hope to include those also in that review, which is coming, I promise. I got some really good feedback on that video, and that video is doing really well. For me so far, it's just been all really good things from this machine. I'm really, really liking it. But then again, it's still very new. I would like to keep updating you guys on it. But another interesting thing that I've seen in the comments are the number of people that have a machine like this already and have told me how much they love it and use it for their own businesses. So it's not just something that I'm telling you about to push the product. It's really a machine that real soap makers and soap business owners have been using for their own businesses. It's just whether or not you're willing to spend that kind of money. And I totally get being worried about that. I definitely would be too. Before each use, I like to wipe it down because as it engraves things, debris can kick up. And while the air purifier does a really good job of suctioning up that debris, you still get some soot and stuff here. So the cleaner your machine is, the better you maintain it, the longer it'll keep working good for you. And that's another downside of running a small business, are all the big expenses that you have to make towards equipment, supplies, and as you scale, you have that money that's coming in from the orders, but it's so hard to see when you get a big jump in profit, seeing a huge chunk of that profit being funneled towards something else. You're gonna have to train your brain to understand that that's how it is. And eventually there should be some sort of turning point where your profits are continuing to grow and that big investment that you made towards supplies or equipment will have paid off because now you've been able to increase your orders and profits because of that investment. But there's some time in between that, and that can be tough for a lot of people to wait that out. It's tough for me. Okay, so let me grab my jars. So I like to position the label to face the front so that the logo is going to be also facing that same direction. We're going to bring the two dots here together. I like to frame it just to double check that it's going to be in the right spot. To make this process go faster, I've been saving each material under its own project. Like for example, these are black acrylic lids, so I just pull up, can't really see what I'm doing here, but I have a folder here for lids. I know that this is an 8-ounce lid, so I just click that and it'll have all the settings that I need for that project. And before I start it up, I just click framing. There's a rectangle here that will show where the logo is going to be engraved on the lid. So all I have to do now is close this and start it up. This adds such a pretty and professional touch to packaging, in my opinion. And if I were to outsource something like this, it probably would cost not that much, but I would have to buy like 1,000 units in order to do that. And I have to wait, and it's a whole process. So if something like that makes you uneasy, like it does for me, I haven't done anything like that, although I know so many people do it successfully for their own businesses. I much prefer to do things in-house. Maybe there's a control issue that I have. And that's why I don't like to relinquish that control to other people. But doing it on my own hasn't really been that much extra for me, and I really enjoy doing stuff like this and creating things and crafting things and being creative. I love that part of running my own soap business.
Here's a shuffle of your Apple Music playlist called Jericho.
You can also laser engrave boxes too. I haven't shown this, but it's super easy. I like to remove the platform, which leaves a space open in the tool. And then I like to place the tool right on top of where I want that logo to go on my box. These are shipping boxes that I got from Staples. Gotta bring those two dots together again. And then we just start the job. Didn't these turn out so good? I love them. Eventually I do want to engrave a message on here. I don't know what yet, just like I want to do with the jars, but oh my gosh, this is just really, really cool. Of all the things that I've been sent to review on this channel, that machine is probably the coolest thing. So this is a 9x3x3 box, and this fits my sugar scrubs 3 in a row perfectly. So when I got this order for 3 sugar scrubs, I got excited because I love how satisfying it is to fit these scrubs in side by side perfectly. Isn't that amazing? And I get my boxes from Staples, and what I like about Staples is that they have this system where you can get boxes every month, and if you need more boxes, you can scale up the order, or if you don't need those boxes, you can skip that month. It's pretty easy and to customize the orders based on how your business is doing. So I really like that flexibility. And when it comes to bath bombs, I like to package them in these boxes. These are 6x4 by 3. And I put these bath bombs into here. Another big downside of running a small business is that you're working through your weekends. I know that there are business owners out there that are able to shut down and stop working over the weekend. I'm not one of those business owners. Maybe it's because I need to work on my time management skills. I work throughout the week. I don't really have a weekend in the traditional sense. I could carve out time on Saturday and Sunday because those are the days that Kale has off from his job, and I try to do that, and I have done that on Saturday, the day before today. I spent time with my in-laws and we slept over at their house. It was wonderful to be able to do that for a day, but I can't really do that multiple days in a row. But I'm learning now what to focus my time on so that I'm able to do this job more efficiently. Look how perfect these fit into this box. It's so nice. And here are the bath bombs in this box. I do want to eventually get to a spot where I have more of my time. I do want to create a nice work-life balance, but that comes with practice and giving myself some grace. Right now we're in a moment of transition. We're still getting our sea legs, if you will, in doing business here in America. And it's just been the first couple of months of doing that. I need to be okay with making mistakes and doing things slowly because I do want to be sustainable. I do want to be here in 10 years. I don't want to push myself too hard, burn out, and then quit or resent or hate the work that I'm doing. I absolutely love my job so much. I love the pace of the orders that I've been getting. And if it stays like this for a long time, I'm not complaining. But then again, I know that there are a lot of people that rely on this small business as their sole means of income. That is pretty scary. I don't know if I would do that. I don't know if there's a lot of small business owners that do that, that just rely on the sales of their business to subsist off of. That's super risky. I'm lucky to have this YouTube channel, to have my Patreon, to have the affiliate income that helps keep the selling soap and bath bombs part of my job pretty stress-free. So I don't know if you guys would see that as a downside to running a small business, is that you don't have to just think about selling your products. You have to be able to plan your business model so that you're drawing income from multiple streams, not just from this. And it does take a lot of thinking and a lot of strategy and a lot of figuring it out. I worked my 9 to 5 for so long before I was able to quit it. Years from when I first started making soap and then tried selling soap. I stayed in my 9 to 5 job as a nice safety net. And that's what I recommend to people all the time who want to do this as a career. Don't burn your boats until you absolutely have to, because trying to rely on income from just this is not easy. At least at first, at the very beginning. And look how good these thank you cards turned out. I'm so proud of myself because finding the right settings to be able to engrave on such a thin piece of paper without burning through them, while also engraving it to the point where you can actually read the text, that took a lot of experimentation. Also, choosing the right font so that it was legible, that took a lot of experimentation. But I love how they turned out, and they fit with the whole forest aesthetic that I'm trying to achieve with my brand. Making these cards are very quick. I don't have to use any ink, which is awesome. Saving costs on ink is an A+ for me. But I think that's where I'm going to end today's video. I hope by outlining a few of the negatives of running a small business, I don't dissuade you from pursuing this, but hopefully I've given you a realistic view on what it's like and what to expect. I just want you to know that it's not easy, but if you love doing this, if you have a passion for the products that you're making and also a passion for the customers that you are serving, a lot of it won't feel like work. And if you take that pressure of having to make a profit off of your shoulders, that makes creating this business that much easier and that much more pleasant for you. I know for me, I don't want this to turn into work. I want to keep this a passion and a love of mine for as long as possible. And because of my love and passion for doing this, I am okay with paying the taxes. I am okay with figuring out all of the tasks that aren't soap making related or bath bomb making related. There are so many business administrative tasks that you need to learn and master that if you don't get them all right away, don't worry, a lot of us don't. A lot of it is just figuring it out as we go along. It is absolutely a labor of love, and I want to keep it that way as long as possible. Speaking of love, thank you to my patrons, especially these guys over here, my Bubble BFFs, who support me through Patreon, which is linked down below. And on my Patreon, I have a lot of recipes, and you have access to me, quick access to me. I respond to every single comment, every single message as quickly as I can. And on that platform, I can focus on you and your needs. And I have a lot of people that message me through Instagram and through YouTube, and I try to keep up with those messages, but it's super hard to, and it's really hard to be able to give you the fleshed out answer that a platform like Patreon provides to me. So if you do want a little bit more guidance and a little bit more access to me, that's the place to do it. And the community over there is awesome. Thank you to everyone who chooses to support me on there. You guys are the best. But that's it. A lot of exciting things still happening in January. So if you want to keep up with the projects and all the cool things that I make, then please subscribe. And until the next video, keep smiling, keep being awesome. And I will see you in that next video. Bye guys.